All right, let's talk about Aaron Rodgers and his wild day here with the Jets. A disappointing performance. Let's just jump into it. Before I do, though, just want to mention I do have a movie channel. If you like movies, like watching movies, or talking about movies, check it out. The link is in the description below. Jackson Kruger Movies is the name. Do some movie reviews and stuff like that. But yeah, anyway, let's talk about Aaron Rodgers. This concept on the screen is basically the concept to talk about, as this is what was giving the Jets the most trouble. Worth mentioning they're at their own 1 yard line, but really the concept itself, a cover one man play. You see when Rodgers takes a snap, he looks down the field, he has to get rid of the football quickly, being that he's in his own end zone, but nothing is really open here. And this is what we saw a lot of, is part of it is you just have to give credit to Denver. They've been doing this to basically everybody this season, is they don't give up a lot of separation. Rodgers tries to make a play work anyway, kind of what you have to do in that situation, ends up falling incomplete. This is what we saw, was guys weren't getting open. And so, kind of from the word go, you're going to have to figure something out. This one's another one where it's going to be a 3rd down and 8 situation. I'll pause it right here to talk about it. But one thing that is worth mentioning is there was a lot really bad weather in this game. It was raining hard, so some of these throws might not look as impressive as you would typically expect. That's usually the reason, but still. Anyway, on this play, 3rd down and 8, Rodgers takes the snap. He's going to look down the field, and this is what we saw a lot in this game. He looks down the field and just doesn't love what he sees. He could throw a check down. That's not the worst idea in the world. But again, Rodgers throughout the course of his career usually is more dangerous when he's out of the pocket than in the pocket. So he's going to try and use his legs. And on this one, it's not going to work. He gets tackled, only gains a yard on that one. So this is what Denver's been doing to teams, is they cover first and then the pressure comes and there's nothing you can do. The initial play doesn't work. Quarterback has to try and make something happen, and they've really done a great job did a great job last week with Baker Mayfield as well, of not allowing a quarterback to use their legs too much of a benefit. This next play is interesting for a couple of reasons. Many of them were ones I just talked about in the previous couple plays. But again, it's this cover 2 man concept on a 3rd down and 10. The Jets down a point, would love to make it up 2 points, but really they would like to make it up, potentially 7 points if they score and go for 2 and get it. But Rodgers takes the snap. He's going to get outside the pocket once again, scans the field. And again, you just don't really see anything open. Certainly not anything open enough to get a 1st down right here. He could throw a check down for 3 yards to his right, but that's pretty much all he has going. But the advantage is it's a cover 2 man, meaning that outside of the defensive linemen for the Broncos, the only players looking at Rodgers are the 2 safeties who are deep. So again, scrambling makes sense here. However, the second he gets outside the pocket, you really see a defensive lineman does a great job at chasing him down. So I'm going to stop it right here. That stuff, again, really good job by the Broncos defensive line of kind of knowing Rodgers is going to try and get outside the pocket and not let him use his legs to pick up too many yards, because we have seen Rodgers do that this season. But also, watch Rodgers' body language. I mean, this is what we saw constantly, is he was visibly frustrated in this game because of how things weren't going, well. And if you can get a quarterback frustrated, that's a good thing. I don't know if that affected the game or not, but that was just, again, I'm talking about what I saw. You saw Rodgers visibly frustrated a lot in this one, I thought. Now, going over here, I thought Rodgers played pretty well in this middle chunk of the game. When things weren't working well, he was finding ways to make things work. And listen, the graphic on the screen right now says he's 4 for 11 for 22 yards, but this is going to help things out. It's a zone coverage concept. You have a receiver trying to get sort of over the middle right here. When Rodgers takes a snap, he is going to, again, be under pressure, which isn't ideal. You also do have a receiver who doesn't appear to be open. So what do you do? Well, watch Rodgers run to the top of the screen. The Denver player who was covering the receiver Rodgers wanted to throw to also followed him up towards the top of the screen. Then there was a window for Rodgers to make an off-balance throw and get a big completion. You definitely saw Rodgers being able to, in a tough situation, make things happen. This one, another one, a big play. It's, at the end of the half right here, it's going to be an all-out blitz by Denver. We will see more of that a little bit later on in this video. But on a 3rd and 10, an opportunity to get off the field for Denver. Rodgers takes a snap, and as you might expect with the all-out blitz, there's immediate pressure. So for Rodgers, he's basically going to have to throw as he's getting hit right here. That's the receiver he wants to throw to, but he hasn't even cut yet. So you're going to have to time this one really well and make a throw while getting hit. But that's exactly what Rodgers does, is able to make a nice throw and then pick up a first down on this, which resulted in another field goal. So, this stuff very good. And then I also thought he just made some good throws. Like this one, I mean, one of the better throws of the week, if we're being honest, where it's going to be a one-on-one matchup on the outside. It's a cover one play. Rodgers takes a snap, and I mean, this is sometimes what you have to do in these situations. Have a player make a play, throw one up. It also certainly helps that he has a free play. And, while Rodgers is obviously the best at generating these free plays, in a situation like this, the Denver player just went off sides. He was trying to show blitz and just went a step too far. But hey, you'll take it. But also watch this beautiful throw right there. I mean, that is good stuff. Great catch by Garrett Wilson on top of it. I mean, really good stuff here by the Jets. So, Rodgers had his real bright spots. I'm not saying every play was perfect. Like, this is one where him and his receiver not quite on the same page. Throws it a bit past him. This was early on when the rain was really coming down. But, it wasn't all perfect. But there was a lot of good stuff here from Aaron Rodgers. There really was. To me, the biggest issues came towards the end of the game. So you get to here, you're down 10-9, which isn't ideal, but given the conditions, given how well Denver has covered, it's somewhat understandable. But the Jets have an opportunity to still win this game. For example, right here, it's a 3rd down and 1. The Broncos are going to be doing what you see a lot, sending pressure. They're playing man coverage. But you see for Rodgers, when his pressure comes, he's just going to run right away. He doesn't even look down the field. I think I would have liked to see the Jets take a chance right there. I think I would have liked to see him throw one up to a matchup that he likes, or just get rid of the football, because on a 3rd down and 1, there's 5 minutes left and you're down a point. You want to get this first down, because getting the sack really hurts you. It means that you can't go for it and you have to give the ball back to the Broncos. That's just not good. Like, I get that you don't want to have to, turn the ball over, but in this situation, this is when you have to take a chance. This is when you have to throw one up. I think that was a bad job to just look to run right away. But luckily for them, they get another opportunity. So this is where we're at with the other opportunity. 1:57 left. Jets still have all 3 timeouts, but only down a point. If they can march down the field, they could kill all the clock, win the game right here. 2nd down and 10. And as you see, Rodgers and his receiver just aren't going to be on the same page here. He thought his receiver was going to cut in a little bit earlier. That did not happen, and because of that, you have a 3rd down and 10. But, okay, hey, you're at least getting someone open right here. No big deal. Cutting over to the 3rd and 10 situation. Well, again, for the Broncos, they're going to be, showing a pressure, but they're actually not. They're going to be dropping back here. And once again, you see Rodgers going to take the snap, and him and his receiver aren't on the same page. These were 2 catches. These were 2 conversions that would have put them, if not in field goal range, just on the outside of field goal range, and you probably could have gotten in field goal range without even getting another first down. These are just unforced errors. So we can make all the excuses we want of Denver has a good secondary, which they do. The weather is bad, which it was. Still, these are unforced errors that the Jets are making. And then a play like this too, where the Jets were able to get, kind of in that long field goal range situation. The Broncos are sending an all-out pressure. I think they wanted to push the Jets back a little bit was their plan right here. To be honest, they were setting a ton of all-out pressures. I don't know why there wasn't a wide receiver screen at any point here with the Jets. That's a great play against this coverage. Like, it's usually what you do. I don't know why that didn't happen at all in this one. And again, the situation is so important to talk about right here. As there's 56 seconds left, the Jets are out of timeouts, the Broncos only have 1 timeout. If you get a first down, what it does is not only does it make the field goal attempt a lot easier, you can kill the rest of the clock. Because even if you make a long field goal from here, the issue is the Broncos then have 50 seconds left and maybe a timeout to try and get a field goal of their own. Rodgers takes a snap. There, again, is pressure, but it's okay. You have a one-on-one matchup, and Rodgers is going for the win right here, really. I mean, you make this play, get a big chunk, you're winning this game. You just are. But here with the pressure, Rodgers just wasn't able to get enough on that football. Again, I would have loved to see him. I mean, you knew what coverage it was. I would love to see him getting rid of that football a little bit earlier. Pressure was going to come quickly. I think the Jets, and I think to some degree Aaron Rodgers, could have done more stuff here down the stretch. I think Rodgers had a very good game. I don't think this loss was on him. I really don't, even though the offense as a whole didn't have a great game. But I still think there were too many unforced errors down the stretch. That was the real reason that the Jets lost. But yeah, that's what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from ya. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.